Well, hello everybody. Welcome to my show, Dare to Dream. I'm your host, Graham Williamson. I'm an international, third generation international evidential medium and psychic. And my show today is going to be one of those shows. It's called Inner Truth. And I always work by spontaneity, by my guts, by my spiritual connection, whatever you want to call it. Because today has been one of those exciting days that sort of land at one's doorstep. Inner truth. It really is about listening to your inner voice. What makes you happy? What makes you you? I've got to tell you the story. I went to give blood today, spontaneously, around 10 o'clock this morning. I was going to Walmart to do some essential shopping because I'm doing an event down in Sarasota this weekend with the Experienced Psychic Fair. I've been attending these as a reader for 2 or 3 years now, and it's one of the best groups of people I've ever worked with. But when I went in to give blood, there was 2 young ladies there, totally different personalities, but very, very positive. And I ended up sort of reading them. I asked permission because as a medium, I've learned over the years, I am responsible for my words and my actions. I always ask permission first because it's courteous, it's respectful. It allows them to say yes or no. Well, I was in this blood donor bus outside Walmart for about 40 minutes. And honestly, I have not laughed as much as I did today. It was phenomenal. Both of the ladies, one a short lady, and she was not as open, but willing to listen. And I told her things that were private. And she was enjoying it. And it wasn't a full reading, it was just to prove about what I do. Because when you're going to give blood, you ask for identity and various questions about COVID and all the rest of it, your health and where you've been and all that. It's a long-winded thing. And halfway through, I said, oh, this is what I do now. I travel around Florida. And she said, oh, why? So I told her, and that's how the door opened for me to talk about spirit. I showed her my card. I didn't give it her. She did ask for it. I showed her, this is what I do. Here's proof. And she was intrigued. Now, the inner voice, truthfully, is knowing when to ask somebody or say something about spirit. And because I've done this 98% of my life, I've always known when to open my mouth or when to keep it shut. And the first lady, as I say, was not as open, but willing to listen. And what I told her, she was, wow, how do you know that? And the second one, a young lady, I can only say either Barbados or Jamaican origin. Fantastic lady. And I was telling her about her son. She has 3 children. And one of them was a little boy. And I was telling her about him. Now, when a medium talks to a recipient, you have to clarify quite clearly at the onset either you are medically trained or you are not medically trained. This is a safeguard because I don't diagnose. I don't tell somebody something negative in any shape or form. I just tell them what I feel. And with permission from them, and I asked for permission, literally, I told her about A, B, C, and D. I told her about her son, told her about his gifts, and I even touched on, do you think he's slightly autistic? How did you know that? I said, well, you are stubborn and very, very A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way down. Everything has to be set. There's no room for compromise. Yes or no? How did you know? You see, inner truth is about listening, and also listening here in your heart, not your head, your heart and your guts. I say the word listening or seeing, it encompasses all my abilities, all my crown, the third eye, my speech, my heart, all the chakra points of the body. You have to honestly learn to listen. And as soon as you feel something, in whatever shape or form of your senses being triggered, say it. And I was saying this to this young lady, and evidently I was pretty accurate. I told her when she was about 8 years of age. You did A, B, C, your peripheral, you've seen this. And I was going into all these details for her. And she was crying with happiness and release and finding out she's not imagining it. She isn't just crazy. She's weird, yes. And that word weird bugs me. I find it weird that people of today's modern age don't listen to their instinct, don't listen to their guts, don't listen to the abilities that each and every one of us are created with or born with, whichever one you want to use. And that's important. The more you listen to your guts and respond positively, the more your gifts will open. Most of us start with the psychic ability, the material aspect of our gifts. It's a safeguard for things that don't feel right, or, ooh, you look wrong in that dress or outfit or hairdo, whatever it is. And you respond to it and say, something not quite right, or this is fine. You see, by listening and doing and saying that with respect, and you find out you're more accurate by the more times you do it, you're not always going to be 100%. No way on this earth you're going to be 100%. But the more you practice, the more your ability opens. But the way to be a medium is to uplift that energy inside you and make every morning a vow to do the highest and best you can for yourself and those you love, for all those you encounter, and all the things that you do is in a positive way. And say, I am never going to give a negative reading or comment. That's even to yourself. And that's very important. I learned this later on in life about how you think about yourself. I used to be self-critical and self-admonishing of myself for so many years. And it was holding me back, and I was unaware of this. The way I think now is still there, but I'm not as self-critical as I used to be. And I lifted up my energy more because I'm always positive in the morning. I may not want to get out of bed, I may not want to do some heavy work, but I have the affirmation to do the highest and the best for today than I did yesterday. And at night time, 8 o'clock is my, hang on, spirit, we're done for the day. I don't want to communicate spiritually unless it's life or death. And it's very rare that that will happen. But because I'm a spirit, I'm having a human experience. And by living my life this way, I can relax at 8 o'clock with my wife and my family, or whomever's around us. So I try not to talk about spirit in the evenings. But when I'm at a psychic event, like as I say, I'm going to one this weekend, I can talk openly because this is a set time to work with and for spirit. I was asked at a couple of events I've been to, why do people cry not long after sitting down for a reading with me? I said, oh, you notice that they're crying. But have you noticed the look on their faces whilst they're crying? Is it sad? Is it negative? Oh, no, 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 is the answer. I said, think about it. If I can help show somebody their loved ones are still active and around them, and prove that it's their loved ones, not just a make-believe, how much weight of sadness I can remove. And it's not me as Graham, it's me working for Spirit, medium, Graham Williamson. There's a difference. When I am not working, I consciously think what I'm going to say and do. Because that's my ego, that's myself, that's me, that's Graham. And I talk to people civilly, respectfully, when I'm not working as well. My inner truth is that I really do not care what people think of me, because their opinion doesn't matter to me. I'm respectful, and if they don't like me, fine. If they like me, even better. Because my inner truth is speaking from my heart at all the time I can, when it's permissible. As I say, I take my job as a medium very seriously, but my wife calls me the comedic medium because I'm always making people laugh. And if you ever want a reading, you can contact me and do email, voice, and all the rest of it. And we'll give those details later. Oh, there we go. Thanks, Cece. You can email me on a medium77@gmail or the Britt77@hotmail and tell me or ask me a question, and I'll do my best to answer it or put you in touch with somebody who can help answer that question. Or you can phone me on Florida, USA 352-409-1060. Leave a voice message, because if you don't, I won't answer you. Or contact me on Facebook, Graham Williamson, or Medium Graham Williamson. I will do my best to help you, because that's my commitment to working with and for Spirit to uplift people. That's my inner truth. That's my journey. I've been doing this for nearly 67 years now. I remember the first time I ever encountered Spirit, but it wasn't the spirit of somebody passed. It was fairies at the bottom of the garden of my grandmother's house. And that story has stuck with me all my life. How people laughed at me when I was 4 years of age because I was telling people that I could talk to fairies. I can see fairies. And my grandmother sat me down, because we lived with my grandparents. And she said, "What's the matter, Graham?" Now I was sitting at a table. She's on one side and I'm facing her from the side. I told her, everybody laughed at me, Grandma, because I could see fairies, they don't. She put a glass of water in front of me. Then, behind that, she put an unlit candle. And said, "Graham, what do you see through the glass of water?" "Candle, Grandma." Oh, we call her Nana. She said, "Yeah, now come and sit where I'm sitting." And I looked at the table. Instead of seeing a glass of water and the candle behind it, it moved. Candle, glass of water. She said, "Yeah, same thing, different perspective. They don't see it how you see it." Oh, simple as that. And that lesson has stayed with me 67 years. Because I quit thinking I'm weird. I quit thinking I was wrong. And those people just don't see what I see, so what's the problem? It wasn't as simple as that, but that's the basic outline of what triggered me to continue talking and learning to be with Spirit the way I am today. It's a lifelong ambition to be better at what I used to do. Because every day I'm learning something. To do my shows on New Streaming Network, it's nearly 3 years, I think. dare to dream. And I've said this numerous times. There's my mum's Dare to Dream tapestry she did for me. I dared to live my dream by always being true to my calling within myself. I don't care if people say, you're weird, it's wrong, you shouldn't do this and all this. I say, sorry, I can help prove life after death is real. I don't know how I do it. I'm not a scientist. Whatever way it is that I'm doing it with positivity, not negativity. I have said my prayers. I've said my intention. And it's normally on the lines of, for whatever I'm about to do and meet, I do my highest and best to uplift and prove continuity after the change called death. I want somebody from being sad to be happy. And when I see somebody smile and realize their loved one's still with them, I tell you, there's no amount of money that can beat that feeling. There's no amount of love that can overwhelm that moment. And seeing somebody finally go, they are with me. And I'm not making fun of it. It's genuine. We all have abilities, my friends. We all have capabilities. Do you want to work with spirit or don't you? If you don't, fine. If you do, fine. But be responsible for that inner voice that makes you what you are. Because spirit will always be around you, even if you don't acknowledge them. You'll always see something that triggers a memory of somebody that you loved or have lost physically. I like to term it as, when you think of a memory of somebody that has passed, hear a song, sound, smell, vision, taste, whatever it is, it's them trying to say, can you remember this moment with me? And most people just think a response, oh, I'm missing you, oh God, I'll miss you, oh, I miss you. And they're thinking it. And then it goes away. Nothing happens. You have to speak from your heart, not your head. You don't have to say, oh, what am I supposed to say? Oh, you've lost it. When you speak from your heart, you empower that energy to connect with the energy of the lost loved one who's around you, your guides, your family, your love, whomever you've lost, even those that you don't know personally but have encountered. I see occasionally a wheelchair, and it always reminded me of a quadriplegic gentleman I used to be very fortunate to know before he passed. And I can still say, hey, Lee, you still don't know how to drive that machine of yours, because he's a quadriplegic. He had just his little thumb and finger, and his mind was there, but his physical body couldn't do much. I used to tell him off, say, you lazy person, you could be doing this. I've told the story before. But I still see him. I still see his family. And I just think, I'm so lucky to have met him. You see, when you connect from your heart with anybody, that becomes your truth. You can deny it, ignore it, or you can envelop it and make it grow. I love making it grow. My wife Sandy, she says, why is it after reading, you have this, wow, I really did it. I connected. She said, you've been doing this for years. Why do you do it? I said, it's that reward from spirit, that energy that flow through me. Makes me feel, yes, I've done it. Oh, we have done it. Spirit working through me. Because me as Graham, I can't do it on my own. We all are connected, this side of the realm and the next. And you've got to realize that. The energy of the physical doesn't stop being active. It's the mindset, the ego, that blocks a lot of this connection with the loved ones. You know, when you walk into a room and you feel comfortable, as I was saying earlier, and you think, wow, I love being here, or don't. if you don't listen, things happen. Not bad, but you know what I mean. The whole point of Dare to Dream is about listening to that voice within you. That ability, and I say voice, I say using all your 6 senses, or however many there really are, I don't know. Because I found out I can do claircognizance, all the different clairs, clairsentient, dowsing, twitching, tea leaf reading, palmistry, crystal ball, you name it, I can do it. But consciously, I can't. But I've been doing this so long, I use whatever is needed by spirit to connect with. I don't take tarot cards. I don't take pendulums. I don't have physical things. I do carry a crystal ball because it reminds me of my grandmother, my nana. I was bequeathed a crystal ball that she had when she was alive and younger. It was supposed to be passed down to me, but I never received it. Other family members, aunts and uncles, took it after she passed. So I bought one, and it just reminds me of my grandmother, who was the first medium I knew of. My mother was the second one. That's why she did that for me. You see, they knew my inner truth. They knew I was going to work with spirit. I didn't at the time, but I have over my life learned. They knew I was going to be working with and for spirit. Inner truth is hard to face when you know you did something wrong there, pal. Ooh, you're going to regret it. Karma's going to come back and kick your posterior. Or, wow, you did that right. Look at you. How do you feel now, Graham? And it's not about wanting to be feeling good all the time. It's wanting to be acknowledging the good by your actions of giving unselfishly, without condition. The only thing you have to do, as I said, is set your parameters, what your intent is going to be. Before I start the show, I say a prayer of intention to work with and for spirit to the highest and best of my ability. My shows are spontaneous. They are never rehearsed. I couldn't. I tried at the very beginning. I had all the things like a sermon. I used to write it all down, what I was going to say. That lasted approximately 1 second, and it was thrown away. Because I trust my inner truth more than reading what I wrote down, concentrated my ego saying, you've got to do this, Graham, you've got to do. I haven't got to do anything. It's what I need to do. Needing to do is better than wanting to do. I need to do better for myself, to uplift myself, to be better with other people. Like the 2 young ladies I met this morning. I have not given blood so funny in my life. These girls were fantastic. They did their job proud. I scared them a little bit because I told them I could slow my heart rate down and the blood flow or increase it. You know, I did. I was so sensitive to my breathing, my heart rate. I slowed it down, sped it up. They even had to slow the saline fluid to put back in my body after they took the blood out from me. Because it was irritating my arm because my energy was contracting, how do you say it? My body was reacting to the needle in my arm. And I had to slow it down and then, how can you do that? Because I listened to my body. The body is limitless in its abilities. It's the mindset that blocks it. I used to be an endurance runner, and I mean long distance, over 30 miles. I used to run all over the place, or swim. I learned to hold my breath for 5 minutes, 13 seconds. It's my record. I'm not bragging about it. It's not as good as some people. I found out an actress on TV the other day, and she could hold her breath for 7.5 minutes. Woo! Power to her. And I went, dang, I wish I'd learned that. Because I thought 5 minutes was long enough. 5 minutes 13 was pushing it a bit. But if I'd have trained a little bit harder, Who knows? I probably still could do it if I put my mind to it. But my lungs are too big now anyway. They go below my waistline. But I know now I'm 71 this year in July, and I don't need to have lungs that are bigger. Not at the moment anyway. You see, I had the chance, I did the best I could at the time, and I'm happy I did it. I'm happy I'm here today to talk about spirit, because my past is my foundation to teaching you how to listen to your inner truth, how to react to it, how to be better at listening to your heart, not listening to your head. One of the things I told one of the girls was, if you listened with your heart to your children, you don't have arguments, do you? She said, no, you've got to think of it. No, we don't. I said, but the second, Mum, you won't. She said, yeah, they're fine. It's difficult with the 3 kids. The youngest, switched off because he's autistic, borderline, ADHD. And she says, I never really thought about that. I said, when you don't think, it's the best time for your inner truth to shine. And it does shine. The fact, if you're here still listening to my show, I want to thank you, because I can't do this show without spirit or you. I would like to ask you a favor, a few, really. I would like you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to New Streaming Network. I've got to put my glasses on because I can't read anything without my glasses. We are of goingsolomedia.com and newstreamingnetwork.com, home of New Streaming TV, Going Bold, media and network, TV podcasts as well. Now, my show is on all this. I can never do it right, CC. I apologize because I'm not thinking. And look, we've got all these links. I'm on there. So many other hosts, shows with their own hosts. I'm having to start thinking now, which is why I'm getting tongue-tied. But you see, my shows are always spontaneous. I knew on Monday, for a change, what the title of the show was going to be. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. But my inner truth always comes through because I trust it. I've not got the ego that says, yeah, but you've got to do A, B, C, D, and D. No. When I work with spirit, I work with them. They guide me. Everything I say is led by my heart. The other thing about working with spirit is the responsibility. All mediums are very responsible for their actions and their words. I know I touched on that earlier, but it's obviously important. Please know the difference between a psychic and a medium. A psychic cannot connect with spirit. A psychic can only read cards because they're physical, but they cannot read from spirit. And that's the difference. And you know from your heart whether that person is being genuine or not. You don't have to second guess it. And I'm not saying they're wrong, but there is a difference between the two. And this inner truth I've had all my life is about defining the differences. The inner truth is about being true to yourself and spirit, and the recipient obtaining the reading from you and spirit, or you and the cards. Angel cards, tarot cards, crystal ball, divining rods, pendulum, you name it. There's so many gifted people out there. You may be one of them. but dare you dream to be an accomplished psychic and or medium. And the only way to be a medium is to uplift your energy. I've met some people that say they're mediums, and honestly, I walk away. I don't say anything respectfully, I just walk away. Because for them, it's about money. We have to live on this earth for material wealth to be able to live comfortably without begging, scraping through. This is what life's about, spirit and experience in human existence. You have to listen to your heart to get anywhere in this world. And if you doubt your heart, it's because your ego has stepped forward and controlling your emotions. I think I'm just going to keep on talking because I've been asked if I want to take a break. Thanks, Susie. I very rarely take a break because spirit, when they get going, just get going. It's like non-stop. I want each of you to take time to look in the mirror and say, who am I? What am I? Am I doing the highest and best for yourself and for those you love and people around you? And even though I've been doing this all my life, I still every morning say, got to do better than I did yesterday. And at night, as I said, 8 o'clock, thank you. I'm not perfect. I'm perfectly imperfect. But that's me. I've learnt to live with myself. And so when my wife says, Graham, you're at it again. And she's laughing. I've done something wrong. I don't know what it is half the time. There's Graham. But she'll tell me in a loving way. She'll tell me when I'm wrong. Tell me when I'm right. You see, she knows where I'm coming from because she knows the inner me, my inner truth. I don't hide anything from her. I've been married twice before. I learned my lessons. You see, I'm not perfect. I have never met a person that's perfect. I've met so many countless people, read thousands of people, literally. And I've never met a perfect person. I've met many perfect, imperfect people because we're here to learn to be better. And when you go back to the other side, the spirit, you say, I did my best. Or, I wish I'd done this. I wish I'd done that. Today is the day that you decide to listen to your inner truth and be truthful to yourself. Because I know I've been back more than once. This is my last time on this earth. I'm sure of that. Because I teach people now. And I was taught many, many years ago in the Mediterranean, talking to other gifted people and churches and belief that they had. The cycles of how many times you reincarnate. And I know this is my last cycle. Whether it is or not, the future alone will tell me. But I know in my heart that this is my last cycle. And I'm not sad about it. Because I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing this from a love perspective. Not, oh, I'm with the fairies and oh, I can do this. No. I speak from my heart because Spirit leads me to speak from my heart. That's my inner self, my inner truth, as Graham Williamson. I was named Clifford Graham Williamson, and for 21 years, I wondered why people didn't call me Clifford. Because I was named after a father who left 5 kids. And then when I was 21, I found out a simple truth from my first wife. You are so stupid sometimes, Graham. They call you Graham because it's easier to say, hey, Graham, instead of, hey, Cliff, and 2 people turn around. I never met my father. He left when I was 1.5 years. I can't remember him at all. But he gave me life. And I thank him for it. I don't know him, but evidently from one of my sisters that I found I've got, half sister, I'm very much like him in temperament and the way I perceive things. Because he married my mother, who was a rescue medium. He knew about mediumship. I didn't know he knew that. So I'm following in his footsteps and my mum's footsteps and my grandmother's. So by listening to truth, set me free from hating the name of the guy who left 5 kids to, you missed out on a great family, pal. But thank you for being my father. You're not my dad, but you're my maternal father. I've learned to respect him for what he was. He was in my mother's life, whom I loved beyond words. My stepfather gave me father love most of my life until he passed. You see, the inner truth that I found was honesty. And it hurts to face it sometimes. But I can talk about it now because I understand it. Yeah, I don't like all of my past, but I understood it. I've learned from it. It's there if I need to go, what did you teach me? Oh, yeah. Experience. I can bring it forward and tell people, yeah, I've done that. Like today, a woman said, have you always had a fantastic life? And I burst out laughing. She says, you're so in tune with things. You've got a very healthy lifestyle. I says, yeah, I'm a recovered alcoholic, been married twice before, blah, 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 blah. All the negative stuff that I had experienced. She says, how are you able to laugh about it? I said, I survived it. I survived because I learned the inner truth of my past, my experiences. Every day I can look back at it and say, obviously I need this memory to help somebody else, which is what my shows are about. It's listening to that voice within me to say, Graham, people need to hear certain things. If you're honest with yourself at all times, it hurts. But that hurt becomes freedom. I found out pain of your heart means your heart's trying to heal. Think about that. All those years, I just liked the name Clifford because everybody called me Graham. And my heart was trying to close, and it couldn't. So I kept on thinking about it as a negative. And then one day I went, oh, put my heart back together because I went, now I understand. My heart doesn't hurt anymore. The negative is taken away, then brought back. It's in balance with the positive and the negative. You've got to have them both. You've got to face the negative as well as the positive. That's an inner truth for all people on this earth, because you're a spirit having a human experience and you need to face that. Unless you want to come back again and try again. I had a nephew that passed away tragically. My wife picked up on him the day he passed. He was over in California somewhere. And she described what she saw and felt. And she felt guilty that she wasn't able to help him. I said, he came to you because he could trust you. He came to you because he loves you. On his moment of passing, he came to you because of that love connection. Not hate. He was needing love. He was needing somebody to connect with just before he passed over. He died in the street somewhere in California. Think about it. You connect with people in ways that you can't perceive. A friendly smile, or opening a door for somebody, or a child, oh, hang on, let me tell you lace, or smile to somebody, have a good day, or whatever it is. You touch their soul when you just do it from your heart. You're not after a reward. You see, giving is the reward. And I'll say that again. Giving is the reward. And I hope what I've said today will help you understand your inner truth. And we're going to close shortly. So again, my email addresses are amedium77@gmail.com or the Britt77@hotmail.com. Send me an email and I'll do the best I can in response to your question or comment. Or you can call me on Florida, USA, 352-409-1060. Leave a voice message or I won't respond. Or contact me on Facebook Messenger if you want a direct message. And ask me, I'll do what I can. I'll be here in 2 weeks' time, which will be the 26th of February. I'll meet Cece today at the same time, 6 till 6:45 Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, Cece. You see, I'm here for you, and I'm here for myself. And please connect with New Streaming Network TV app on Roku, and podcasts on TV, and on Facebook. Yes, join me on Facebook. But please like, share, comment, and subscribe to New Streaming Network, because there's many shows that can help you to do with divorce, abuse, addiction, spiritual, veterans, PTSD. I've done a lot of stuff. And these hosts are more experienced than I am on their fields. I'm a medium. And I'm proud to say this is my show, Dare to Dream. And I want to thank each and every one of you that have seen it. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. And I leave you with love and blessing. And thank you. Bye for now.